evening and welcome to the Poetry of Justice Show with Jackie Ray Phillips on YikesRadio.com and AccelerateRadio.net. Here on the Poetry of Justice Show, this is where social consciousness meets the arts. And what we do is we select topics that spark the interest and awareness of social diversity, ranging from arts, entertainment, and social justice at large, leaving our listeners thinking and saying,
YikesRadio.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, those are the very sultry sounds of my mentor, the Mr. Kevin Nash. And Mr. Kevin Nash is the owner of this proprietorship here at Accelerated Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, I love to take the time to give Kevin Nash his honor and his respect, because if it were not for Kevin Nash and his brainchild, it would be impossible for me to do what I so love to do here on Saturday nights. So much so that this is our 5th year anniversary doing this, ladies and gentlemen, with the Poetry of Justice Show. So thank you so very much. And we just appreciate you, Mr. Kevin Nash. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm also going to give a very special shout out to my sister, aka Lori G, the benefactor. How you doing, Lori G?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm so excited, Sissy. Thank you so much for being in the house tonight and everything that you do for us here on the Poetry of Justice Show, and making sure that the wheels keep turning and that we just keep burning and doing all those exciting things. I also want to give a very special shout out to the legendary Lord Rocker, ladies and gentlemen, and Star and Crescent Castings. So thank you so much for your contributions and what you've done with us here on the Poetry of Justice Show. Thank you so very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give a very special shout out to the man who keeps us really, really tight and right. That is Rashid, our amazing engineer. How are you tonight, Rashid?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fantastic today.
Yes, you are. Thank you so much for all your help. Ladies and gentlemen, I also want to give a very special shout out to G Babies Catering LLC. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to check out Chef Mac, most notably, on Instagram. That's at G Babies LLC, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to check him out. And then I also want to give a very special shout out to who we call around these parts the Man of Steel, and that's with WMPJ Steelworks Incorporated. Just want to give him a very special shout out. And also to APS Muscle Cars. We thank you so much for your contributions and what you've done with us here on the Poetry of Justice Show with Jackie Ray Phillips on YikesRadio.com and AccelerateRadio.net. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our 5th year anniversary with Yikes Radio and Accelerated Radio, and I'm super duper excited. Lord G, how about you?
I'm very, very excited.
You are?
Definitely. It just seems like, wow, came really quick.
It kind of did, but then it kind of feels like every lashing is on my back, low-key on the real tip. But look, I think we've got some amazing things that are going on tonight. Did you want to do the honors for us tonight and let everybody know?
You should.
You think so?
I do.
But
It's
I
our
always do
anniversary.
it. That's why I want you to do it. It's
Well,
my
we
job.
have a beautiful artist with us tonight who was here, guys, back in January.
I know, oh my God.
Yes.
I know, I'm so excited.
So she's an amazing artist, pianist from Ohio, right?
Wow, I know.
And she's got some music to share with us tonight.
This is so beautiful.
Yes, we have the beautiful and lovely Love Keyyz.
Thank you, gorgeous. How are you tonight, gorgeous?
I'm just ecstatic. I'm happy. I was happy last time I was here,
Yes.
but today I'm really happy.
I know,
I'm
because
just
it's
so-
all about you. Remember that time I said, I want you to come back, and you can just
Yes,
come back and just hang
yes,
out with us, and it'll
yes.
just be you and us, and we can just hang out.
And we're
I know, I'm so grateful.
So
But you know
excited.
what I want to tell you, though, and all of our listeners, Lord, like how you talked about 5 years and what we do, and oh my God, why we do what we do, and just thinking about it, and like the very first shows, and me and Sissy would worry so much about so many different things, right? You know, Lori, when we first started out.
Yeah, I think one of our biggest things was content. Do you remember that?
Yes, I
We
do.
wanted to be definitely prepared.
Yes.
We'd have like 19 pages
Yes.
of material for a 1-hour show.
And then this one guy, he would tell us, like, well, we've been in radio 6 years, but we've been with Mr. Kevin Nash and Accelerated for this 5-year anniversary. And then the first show we used to do at the other little station, it says always the same name, but he goes, you guys come in here with all this work, and you know we only have 1 hour, and we can only get so much of the information in. But all of that is to say, my honest to God, in my heart, I used to share some with my sister, and sometimes not, because I used to be a worry ward. But I used to worry so much about guests and the early years, Lori. Are we gonna find anybody? And what if nobody gonna like the show? And what if it's not gonna be any good? And look how the Lord has blessed us, and the fact that you are here with us right here, right now, tonight, and that you loved us enough to come the first time, and then you love us even more to come back a second time. It's just an honor, and I just want to give Him glory. And I also just want to tell you thank you for your time and blessing us, because you could have gone, many other places to do your release, and to know that you thought enough of us to choose us to do something so very precious.
Yeah, it is. Scary too.
That's your work. So how's your energy tonight?
I am a little tired, just from nonstop movement and getting ready, but I am excited and proud. So
yay!
Yes, I'm very excited. Yes. Happy to be here.
That's right. Do you have any questions about? I want to start straight into the projects, but I know how I get. So
no, absolutely. I think we should go straight to the project.
Yes,
let's do it.
Yes, we're gonna let you navigate tonight. Okay. I'm gonna be here. Me and Rashid and Lori at your disposal. Okay. And we're gonna just let you do what you do, and you let us know what you'd like for us to do, and we'll make it happen for you, gorgeous.
For sure.
So what songs you just tell us? You navigate. Yay.
Yeah. So wow, we're really here. It's May 2022, and the album is officially done. It's ready. It's scheduled for release. I can't breathe. The official release date is June 3rd, 2022. It's a Friday, yes. So about 3 weeks
June
from
3rd,
today.
Actually, June 3rd, 2022. What time do they usually drop? What time of day?
It's usually midnight, wherever you are. Yeah.
Really? Mm-hmm. Yeah? How did you know? I mean, why that date? Talk to us.
Well, technically, there's a long story that goes into why I chose the original date. This is a different date, but originally I wanted it to be this actual Friday, yesterday.
Okay.
And that was because that made exactly 1 year that my ex cheated on me. And that was the start of this project coming out. You know what I mean?
So
and
hard.
being involved.
Right.
Yeah. So I wanted it to be that day, but of course with time and just, everything, I had to push back a couple of weeks. But
May 13th.
Yeah.
I think it made just way too much on the Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
What you think?
Oh, I forgot it was Friday.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was
it was Freaky Jason and
No, we don't want any bad energy on the
what's
album.
the full name? Jason and them's friends. Michael and all the
Yes.
Myers. Yeah, all of them.
Yes, there's Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger's, Michael Myers.
All of them.
Pinhead.
All of that.
Yeah,
on one day.
on that day. He just scared me. That's on Hellraiser, huh?
Yes.
That just took. See, that's like that.
I think June 3rd is
like
a
it.
much
Love it.
better day.
June,
Yeah, and it's fresh, it's a new month and everything,
Woo-hoo.
So yeah, originally I wanted to drop it around that time, but I chose June 3rd and made it official, and now we're here, and pre-order starts this Friday.
I can't
and
wait. Okay, tell
Tell
everybody
us how we can pre-order.
right now.
yeah,
How can we do that?
Yeah, it'll be pre-order on iTunes at, I guess, about midnight wherever you are. That'll be May 20th. So you can go and you can purchase it. It's going to be $9.99. And then as soon as it comes out on June 3rd, you'll have instant access and you'll get, the music as soon as it drops before everyone else. And I think they do like a instant gratification thing where you get like a track early or something. And that song is actually track number 10, which is Ceilings. So yeah. So it's gonna be exciting. I don't know. I'm so excited. It's crazy. May 20th for pre-order. So
Talk to us a little bit about, and we're going to get into ceilings first, and so we'll start there. But I want to just talk a little bit about your motivations. What are some of the things that just keep you going? That not even keep you going. What's the part of that motor inside of you that fire?
For me, especially like over the last couple of months, especially when it's been like, the hardest part of the album and getting ready and stuff, it's been more of just like God and knowing that like I'm waking up every day and I get to do this. Like I'm so blessed in so many ways in my life, and it's like every single day that I wake up, that's another chance, and that should be enough for all of us to be like, all right, I'm gonna try this again, I'm gonna do this again. So for me, it's just been getting that extra chance to try again every day, and other people as well, like just having friends, family support, whether that's physical or just having that support when you need it.
How has the work allowed you to heal from the pain? Has it? Is it still tender?
How do I don't want to say it's still tender. I think it's still tender because I've been working on it and it's been healing for me, but now it's the time where I share it with everyone else. Yeah, where it's like, okay, I've been working on it and it's been helping me. Like it's been my own, not my only way, but my main way of healing. But it's gonna be tender in the beginning because it's like, okay, this is my baby I've been working on, and I'm giving my baby to the world. And it's like, you know, I opened up in a bigger way on this album. Like I let it all out. So it's like, it's going to be tender, you know, that first week or so, like letting people hear it. But for me,
what about you rehearing it? That's
it's not tender. Only there's a specific song that really just kind of is hard for me to listen to still. Or two, I would say. One is called 3 Strikes. And that's the song where I pretty much tell you the exact, like, the day when he cheated and everything that happened and what he said, what he did, you know. So that one is kind of tender because, you know, I'm literally telling you everything. And then there's another song called Things Left Unsaid, and it's one of those songs that it's like you come to that realization, like, you know, this can never be. But what if it could? You know, what if we said all the things that we never said, and what if we just try it again? But we all know that it's done. You know what I mean? So those two are kind of like, you know, triggers for me right now. But as a whole, the project is just, I feel relieved, you know. So
have you heard from the ex?
Oh no, I blocked him, and I blocked all his family members and stuff. Good. So yeah, because
Clean
when
break.
we were living together, so when I was moving out and I was like, I was still half in, half out. I was like sleeping at my place, but picking up my stuff in the daytime. He was still texting me, "Oh, you took my knife," or "Oh, you took my soy sauce," or "Oh," like, and it's just like, yeah. And I'm like, I thought you wanted me gone. Like, you hate me so much, and now that I'm no longer there, like, and it just became too much for me. So I was like, when I turn in my keys officially, I have to, you know, dead this whole thing because he will literally just not stop. You know what I mean?
Right.
It wasn't worth it. So I blocked him, his people, and everything, and. You know, so we don't really run with the same people at all, so it kind of was easy for me.
That's so good. That's so good.
I couldn't do it.
Clean break. Hello.
Yeah, absolutely. You
break.
need a clean break. And now he's just over there kicking himself.
Oh, I hope so, because when he hear this stuff, he gonna really be.
Exactly.
That's good. Yay! Yikes! Exactly.
So now, in putting together your project, what song is your favorite?
I hate this question because it's like all of them. Okay.
Is it like you can't have a favorite child, so you can't have a favorite song?
Right, exactly. And if you watch like other videos and I say a different song, I choose this answer based on how I feel in that moment. So today, my favorite song on there is the last track, which is called PAN. And I'm going to let everyone use their own guesswork to think of what that can mean. It's a diss track.
I know exactly what that is, girl.
Yeah.
Exactly. I agree with you 800% because that's all what it boils down to.
Mm-hmm. And they're all 3 curse words, so that kind of gives you a lead on what that.
Yeah.
So,
okay, so I was right.
You were right. So if you're thinking it, you're probably right.
Yeah, that's it, girl.
That's my favorite song because it's just like, I don't know. It was just my moment to kind of like talk my stuff. You know what I mean? Like, because it was such a clean break. I didn't like fight him about it. I didn't do the whole social media thing. I did nothing. I just kind of was like, all right, like I got to take this L and move on. And so that was my song where it was just like, I'm gonna get a little disrespectful and so we get a little disrespectful and we get a little aggressive, but it's so funny because it's one of those tracks that you think is just gonna be like I'm not like screaming, I'm not, I'm just literally like talk singing, whatever you want to call it. So it's just a very subtle disrespectful track. Subtle disrespect.
Very monotone. Very straightforward.
Yeah, it's like if you were to just close your eyes, it's like, oh, okay. But then you like, did she just say?
Rushy, we gotta play that.
I don't think we have that. I don't think we have access to that, do we?
That's
No,
it.
we
We gotta
don't.
wait
We-
till next
oh.
week. Shit, I forgot. No,
Yeah,
that
we-
one?
No,
to the
June
third.
3rd.
To the 3rd.
June 3rd.
That
Oh,
one,
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
die.
leave some suspense on that one in particular, just because it's so like
Intense. Huh?
it's just gonna catch you off guard. Like it's just one of those. I'm gonna leave it at that. But that is my favorite track today. So
Yay.
it's the final track. PAN.
All I can say, guys, is sign up for your pre-order.
I know.
You know, when you were here last time, I told
It's
you
Apple
you are
Music.
the Adele in the Rising.
Yeah.
We got to listen to
amazing.
some of this music. Your
Yes,
voice
Thank you.
is unbelievable.
Thank you. Yeah, she's
Unbelievable.
definitely a huge influence. Her and Alicia Keys, just you know, because piano is it's my heart.
Can you
So it's
remind
like-
us how old you were when you began your piano journey?
I was about 15, so it's been about 10 years.
Oh my God. That's
Yeah, I learned on YouTube, and I was like, okay, I like this, and I would learn little like songs on YouTube, and then I did go to music school a couple years ago, and that kind of helped propel everything. But yeah, I was self-taught originally.
The
So.
School of YouTube.
right.
Yeah, YouTube University.
That's what I'm saying
It's
about.
free and it's helpful and it's I just used
And
to watch
successful,
stuff.
right?
Yeah, it really can help.
It
You know,
helps with programming. It helps with math. It helps with everything.
everything, literally
for sure,
stocks, like
And it helps with
cleaning
playing
stuff,
piano.
like it's like, oh, how do I do this? How do I cook this? Like everything.
How do I ditch somebody? You know what I mean?
Right? Like they have all the tutorials.
I'm
that
sure
you need.
it's on YouTube.
I think so for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
How about ceilings, Rashid?
All right, let's do this.
Okay.
Do I look like a fool to you, my baby? I spent too many years in fear of you, so maybe I do. I'm full of rage, I wanna lash out. I've been more than patient, so you're scared now. This is for all of the times that you tore me down. Turn myself on and I'm guilty. I don't even regret my feelings. I don't need a lawyer, sir. It was me, it was me, it was me. I can't take it no more, I'm crazy. They ain't gotta bail me out, I'm staying. 'Cause hurting you just saved my life. The ceiling's gonna fall tonight, and I ain't gonna be with you. So tell me where you draw the line of all of the things you put me through. The ceiling's gonna fall tonight, and you don't get another chance. Forgiveness is a gift from God, so pray that He'll make you a better man. You don't get to say that I overreacted, 'cause everything that you did to me was slowly breaking me. Looking in your eyes, you were ready to kill in the name of love. But this ain't love, you can't convince me. So if this is the end, I gotta save me. Turn myself on and I'm guilty. I don't even regret my feelings. I don't need a lawyer, sir. It was me, it was me, it was me. I can't take it no more, I'm crazy. They ain't gotta bail me out, I'm staying. 'Cause hurting you just saved my life. The ceiling's gonna fall tonight, and I ain't gonna deal with you. So tell me where you draw the line of all of the things you put me through. The ceiling's gonna fall tonight, and you don't get another chance. Forgiveness is a gift from God, so pray that He'll make you a better man. Tell me, how does it feel now? You're on the ground, you won't make it out, no, no.
Yes.
That is phenomenal.
I love that song.
I do too. That is absolutely
Incredible.
you.
Incredible.
I love
I have
that
a
song.
question for the panel. What relationships and pain can create such beautiful music? Just throughout time. What do you all think about that? What do you think, Laura? I see this look on your face.
I'm just
Talk to me.
thinking about relationship and pains.
Relationships.
I mean,
Look how beautiful came from that.
yeah. Yeah.
She goes, I don't even need no lawyer because I'm staying. Because I'm glad because I fucked your ass up.
Exactly. Turn me in.
But I
I'm
think
here.
what can be really beautiful is that it's your authentic truth, right?
Yeah.
Right, Love Keys? It's your truth.
Yes.
And I believe that
This saved
there's
your
always
life.
beauty in
Yeah.
truth.
Yeah. I love that song. That was like one of my favorite writing exercises because it's like, I can't burn the house down because I don't want to go to jail in real life.
See what I'm saying?
So let me make this song of this person who did it for me. And yeah, I got to live through her. So got to live through her for a moment.
Okay, I have another
Absolutely.
question for Miss Lori Fisher, Miss
Uh-oh.
Psych on the panel. Now, does that has nothing to do with multiple personalities, right? That's just you allowing to live vicariously through this imaginative character, right? For writing,
Yeah,
and
that's no
scripting purposes.
no different than playwriting, right?
That's right,
Or
exactly.
script writing. You develop a character that takes on, and I think sometimes when you're the author, and I'm sure with your music, there's a piece of you, an authentic piece of you in each one of those
Right. Yeah.
characters,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's what
Like
that's what I
burn,
think.
baby, burn, disco inferno. You know what I mean? And he like burn.
Well, that's what brings
baby,
depth
burn.
to your characters, right? I think that's what brings depth to your music.
Yeah,
is because
absolutely.
it's a piece of truth, you know, and we can speak very passionately about what we know.
Right.
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 But
of
see,
what we
then
know.
the only issue it could be is for those people who, you know, when you watch like crime shows and then when you're in court like 20 years later, then they want to pull up a video or some shit that you wrote when you was,
Well, you
wrote
said-
this song, bitch. What? You know what I mean? So that's, I know.
I mean, they're doing that right now.
For- that's
with-
my point.
I know.
With Young Thug.
Yeah.
With
You shut the door.
with Rico. Yeah, back when they're
Yeah,
quoting
they will
his
use it
lyrics
against you.
about his quote unquote actions
Mm-hmm.
and what he's quote unquote done, and they're using that against him in court right now.
Yeah. It's just a character.
Yes, exactly right.
Put that out there in the
But
universe.
disclaimer, this is not real, people.
Okay, this is
Exactly.
not real.
This is not
so.
This is make believe. Sasha Fierce.
But that's true though. That's true. That it-
no. That was just me being super duper dramatic. But no, on the real, I love it. I absolutely, because it makes
Love
me
it.
think about when you're a little kid and you're writing your stories. I think about
Yeah.
that. It's very dreaming, and I love the colors. I love the piano, and I love the color scheme and what you're wearing.
Thank you.
And just the way in which you deliver is what, for me, is so much more captivating. I don't know. What do you think, Lord G?
Absolutely. I mean, and I think that
That has stuck in my
is
mind since I've met you.
Yeah, I know.
You've never left my mind. You've always been right here with me because you was always right there.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome so
I
much.
love that. Thank you.
Yeah, because your voice is incredible, and I think when you don't have to have all the gimmicks, right, that
right.
distract you or distract the listener, right?
Right,
It's
right.
that I'm telling you, lady, you got it. You got
And
it.
think about Ricky.
You got it. You're gonna win that Grammy for new and up and coming
I
artists.
hope so. I really hope so because the music is it's just great, you know,
amazing.
and it's also authentic, which makes it even more powerful, you know.
Absolutely.
So I'm excited. I'm just so excited. It's just I can't wait, you know, for people to see the full scape of, you know, the whole story, basically. Like, you know, I've talked about things and I put pieces out there and I put out a single and I gave this video, and it's like you get to hear the story in full from top to bottom.
And when
Like,
did you know you wanted to move forward in this direction with regards to your dreams and desires?
for this album or just
Yeah,
in,
for the album.
For this, it was tough because this actually originally started as an EP. So it started as just like what, 4 or 5 song kind of project.
Okay.
And it was supposed to come out last March in 2021, and you know, things kept happening. The engineer was like, he dropped out of the project. Like I paid him and he dropped out, and I kept praying. I'm like, God, like if it's not supposed to happen right now, like I won't do it. And then I kept getting signs, and I'm like, you know what, I gotta listen to this. And lo and behold, that's when I found out he cheated. So it was like the story wasn't done being written, because it was an EP about love. There was no hate, there was no all the ceilings,
The
you know,
other side
there
of
wasn't
it.
that. So
There
it was
wasn't.
like, it was kind of like, I guess, a way to save, you know, face or whatever, because the story wasn't done being written. And that was back in May when I found out, and I dropped the project for like a while, like,
Yeah.
and then my last semester of school was in September, and then, you know, just where I was in music school, so I'm working on more music, and then that's when it was just like, you know, I deserve to share this with the world. Like,
Yes.
even though I can't relate to it now, there was so much of my personal growth that was being displayed. So it's
Yes.
like, I can't just,
Sit on that.
yeah, I just can't just let it go. So it was kind of like maybe 5-6 months later, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna finish this and I'm gonna tell the whole story, you know what I mean? And I just literally worked for months and months and months trying to finish it, and here we are. So
Wow, because you were doing the lyrics, you're doing all the writing, you're doing
So
everything.
you wrote all the songs on the album?
yes, so every single song on the album is written by me 100%. And then as far as production, they were all written by me, like based on like little piano chords and stuff at home. And then I joined with some of my favorite pianists, two guys. One is Jordan Jackson, the other is Antoine Franklin, just to kind of bring their element of, you know, musicianship into it. And then the engineer I worked with, Wase, he actually did a couple of tracks on there for me. So I joined with those three as far as production. But yeah, everything is 100% written by me, simply because it's like, you know, I could have had writers and everything, but this was so, it was too close and too important to me, and I'm like, I need to tell this as authentically as I can. So
Yeah, absolutely. It's
Yeah.
about you.
yeah, so I'm like, you know, I'm gonna write it, you know, y'all can add the piano, more piano and stuff like that. And yeah,
How do
so.
you feel when you hear it? When you hear it the first time?
Like in full, when I first heard, I was proud. Because for me, I'm like very hard to please. And I was like, you know, I'm not gonna like it. But when I finally heard it, like for the first time, mixed and mastered, I was just like, this is good. Like, you know, I appreciate the story. I appreciate the musicianship, the growth. Like, this video is great, but hearing the official song is just like, the growth is incredible. The harmonies, you know, like I spent so much time in lessons and everything for it. So it's like hearing it is just like, wow, like I'm impressed. I'm impressed, Keyyz.
Go, girl.
Yeah, so I'm
myself
very
on the
proud.
back.
I'm just proud. That just sums it up.
You're very driven. Very driven.
I am.
Yeah.
I love it. You know, I love being able to share, you know, in music form, and not only to heal myself but other people. Like, you know, it's really cool to be able to say something that other people can't say, you know what I mean? And they're like, you know, I needed to hear that, and I, you know, like I couldn't articulate that myself, and they're like, you hit it on the head, you know.
Yes.
So
I
it's
like
really
being
dope.
like a voice to the voiceless.
Yeah,
if you
exactly,
will. You know what
exactly.
I mean?
Yes.
And being able to speak out, that is just so wonderful.
Yeah.
That was actually one of my questions is
Yeah.
what do you want your listeners to take away
Yeah, that's a great
when
question.
they hear it?
I think the main thing I want people to take away from it is that love is real. Love exists. The love that you imagine exists, and you can have it. And even though I have like this side A, side B thing going on, where you experience this unbelievable love that you never thought you would have in your lifetime, and then it ends, that's not to say that love is bad or anything like that. You know, we don't always get the fairy tale that we, you know, imagine, but that doesn't mean that love doesn't exist. And I hope that people can understand that, and understand that if you do end up going through it as I did, you can heal from it, and you can, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can be ready to love again. Like, it's a give and take kind of thing. So it's just like, I just want people to know that love exists, and, you know, bad things happen to good people, and it's just unfortunate, but that doesn't change who you are, what you deserve, or anything. Like, it'll come back around again, you know, in different forms. Maybe it may not be that husband or wife that you imagine. It may be a great friendship or something, but it exists. And love, you know, my song Life Worth Living, like, love literally taught me that life is worth living, whether that's a relationship, a friend, anything. Like, we need love to keep going. So no matter what it comes with, it's still a beautiful thing, and it still exists, and you know, you gotta have it. So
What do you Go ahead, Lori.
Oh, no, I was just going to say my sister and I were talking, I think it was yesterday, about oftentimes people don't put a focus or attention on the struggle or the journey that an individual takes to reach a particular achievement, right?
Oh, yes.
They just look at you and say, oh, Keyyz just woke up. She lucky.
Yeah, and
You
this
know,
album
it's
is
not
done.
about
And
luck,
yeah.
right?
Right.
Can you share with our listeners a bit of your hard work and your struggle and your journey?
Thank you. Oh my good. Like
Yes.
nobody ever asks that or says anything about it. It's like you just cry and work hard for months, and then they're like, "There you go. This is my baby." Wow. I mean, where do I start? Like I said, I was in music school when I started this originally. And like I said, I came out, or not out, but came up with the EP and everything. And just that alone, just having these private lessons and having, these people help coach me to kind of find my, authentic, artistry. That was a struggle alone. And to have something so beautiful, to be in love, like I was like, anybody that knows me knows how in love I was. Like, I was public about it when I'm a private person. He met my family. Like, we lived together. I've never done that before, And it's like to have that and literally wake up one day and your world comes crashing down, and then to have to, first of all, try to survive that. I'm waking up next to a person that hates me every day. You know what I'm saying?
I have to understand. Why in the hell is he hating you and he's the one fucking up?
I don't, a lot of it was guilt, because
He tried to flip the script. You know how they do. Don't let him with the flipping or the scripting.
Let me say that when I caught him cheating, his immediate reaction was to say, "Oh, well, I never liked you anyway, and you gained weight and I stopped liking you, and I know that when you're in the studio, you're actually not in the studio, and I know that you've been cheating on me, you ain't been loyal to me, and when I say there is no exaggeration when I say this man verbally abused me for hours after I found out.
Yeah,
hours
to break you down, so you can deflect.
That's
so
called
you
a
won't be fucking with
deflection,
him.
Right?
Right.
I'm still in therapy till this day. I'm like,
That's why
literally
he's
like. That is why he is a PAN, okay? Like, but yeah, he flipped the script, and then like I said, the PAN, okay? If you don't know what that means, you're gonna find out, but I know you know what it means.
Exactly.
But like, that was his immediate reaction to literally just, I'm talking about everything under the sun. I'm talking about he was pulling things that I'm like, are you done? Like, where'd you get that one from? That was interesting. Right. Okay, you know.
Okay,
what I
I
mean?
just gotta say this. Just as an older woman to a younger woman. Okay. That shit is tactical.
It is.
Okay.
But I didn't know that in that moment.
Right. So I just want you to know from this point forward,
yes,
that shit is tactical. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm not just putting it on men. I think
it could go either way.
Yeah,
it could be
way.
people.
Yeah, for sure.
They try to deflect, and then
Yeah.
they start pulling things out that they want to accuse you of because they want to divert the attention to your mess up right now. There.
Because it was just too hard for him to hear, because I'm like, what happened was that like when I found out, I cried. You know what I mean? Like, I'm hysterical. I'm like, this is the love of my life, and then I find out, this, and then like I said, he just straight went into it, and I'm on the phone with my best friend, and like literally for hours I'm like just letting her listen. I'm like, he's talking to me, I'm over on the other side of the room. He hated to hear me say I call him cheating, and he's, you know what I'm saying? And it's not like I was like, oh, F you, and da-da-da. Like, I'm literally just telling her what happened. Like, you know what I'm saying? And his reaction. And I'm talking about weeks and months on end. Like, literally, because we were still in the lease together, and I was trying to get my place and everything. And every day I woke up. So I brought that up because that was part of the hard work and part of the, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to actively heal and move on and keep my sanity. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then I'm trying to, I found out this, it's like my last semester of school. I'm trying to stay focused. Yeah. And I'm like, all of this stuff going on. And then I'm trying to find a place to live now and all of this. Yeah, and I'm just like, all of that, went into it, and like I said, and graduating and everything, and just, it was just nonstop, just things that I had just kept coming, my way. And that was like the bulk of it, just dealing with that verbal abuse every day until I left. Like literally it only stopped because I blocked him. You know what I mean?
Good.
Like you're texting me, I moved out and you're texting me like, yeah, you used some of my aluminum foil.
He just couldn't let it go.
And I'm just like, you would have thought that I was the one that cheated.
Girl, that's
I
what he
was
wanted to do.
That's what he.
And it worked. And it worked.
That's the goal.
It worked. It really worked.
Yeah.
And that was the hardest part for me, because even to this day, a year later, with therapy and with, loving myself, I still, sometimes a man will say something to me and I'm like, well, I mean, you did like cheat, but like, is it my fault? Maybe if I would have came back at, you know what I'm saying?
Stop
like,
right there. No.
It'll have you questioning
It
anything.
is
Like
never
a man
your
could say
fault.
something so out of line to me,
No.
and I'm like, well, maybe if I wouldn't. And it's like, no, like I'm trying to break that mindset because it worked on me.
That's called irrational thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It
And it's
worked,
okay.
He caught you off guard. He caught you off guard.
Yeah,
He caught you off guard.
And it's
It
like,
happened.
I know
It
better
happened.
now, but like,
But you did. That was a part of this. We wouldn't have this beautiful album.
I know. And like, it's so funny. Like, I was going through my phone the other day, and like, I have like over 100 voice memos of just like, me at the piano, just like trying to vent and trying to get it out, because it was hard for me to write in the beginning. Part of it took me to move out and be out of that house to actually, write about it. But I'm like, dang, I got all these sad little melodies and songs and stuff. But it took a lot. But just lots of healing, lots of therapy, lots of learning myself again. And and I was also finding myself as an artist too, so it's like there was just a lot going on. But that is some of the things that some of the hard
How
work.
do you think you've grown through this process?
I've grown in a lot of ways. Personally, I've grown a lot because when I was finally able to kind of have some clarity and some sanity from it all, I just learned a lot about myself. Like, not necessarily in a bad way. People think like, oh, it's a breakup and it's but it's like, I learned a lot. I learned what I wanted. I learned that I didn't have boundaries. That was like the main thing that I learned. I'm like, I didn't have strong boundaries at all. And I literally look back and I'm like, oh, if you had stronger boundaries, some of these things could have been prevented. But it's like,
Talk to me about boundaries.
standing my ground.
Okay.
Sacrificing when, like, because I'm all for compromising and everything. You got to do that. But like, I think that I was too loose in my like, where I stood in things. It's like, yeah, this is how I feel about it, but if you tell me this is what you want, well, I want to make sure everybody's happy, and I want to make sure everybody else feels, even if it's about me, I still want to make sure everybody else is good. So I was not firm on where I stood in a lot of things, and I was like, easily swayed, and it's just like, some of that is like, I love you and I want you to be happy, but looking back, I'm like, some of that was just like me just seeing past a red flag, you know what I mean? So yeah, I just had to learn.
Yeah, I mean, I think we do that, right? And
when you love somebody, you
we
just
think
like,
we think that's compromise, and I think as women, oftentimes we bend a lot more. But I think exactly what you said, taking those times to set those boundaries and determining what it is that you need to be okay.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
And remembering that a relationship is a partnership.
It is.
And just how you're bending to make sure your partner's good. If your partner cares for you the same way, they're doing the same thing, right?
That's true.
Right. Instead of just taking and sitting back and watching
The
you
effects.
bend, right?
Yeah. I was just too willing to, you know what I mean? And it's just like,
But the wildest part for me, I don't know. Is how does it just happens?
Yeah.
It's nothing you could prevent. It's nothing that the lady could have done wrong or worn differently or an extra 7 pounds lighter.
Right.
It's so not about that, Lori. It's about these people and their own.
No, it's not about you. It's not about the person. It's about the partner.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's them who are manipulating that relationship.
Yeah.
Because we got to remember that things are reciprocal in a relationship, and you if you're really looking after the needs and supporting, and you're in tune and you're connected, your partner will be doing that same level of in tune and connecting. But what I've noticed, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, women, we rationalize. We see shit ain't right. We see it. We know that our need isn't being met.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we rationalize it. Oh, they had a hard work day, right? Oh, they got some family problems. Oh, their finances aren't right. We put we put labels on it to rationalize that behavior away. And before you know it, and my sister, she's like, wow, Lori, is that true? And sometimes we have to take some of that accountability.
Yeah.
Right.
Because we are creating the monster, right?
Yep.
I mean, when you
Yeah.
think about classical conditioning,
I'm so glad you left. I
101.
gotta put that right there. Because you let that fool do that Bull Jones one time, and he straight out the rip became a P-A-N, and you got an album out the deal. So.
Okay, a great album.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
a bestseller.
Girl power. Woo!
Yep.
Shaka. So the next, hold up, straight real, Lori. The next time the energy's coming and telling you all that weird junk,
Yeah.
take it from an older chick. You got out the game. You didn't even let the game start.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you saw that buffoonery,
Yep.
you took the high road.
Yeah. And it, for me,
You know what I mean? Because it could have went a different way, Lori.
Yeah, I think so. That's what I was going to say. That happens, and so we begin to condition that abuser,
Yeah.
right? That their behavior is not abuse. That we set that as the baseline for our relationship.
Exactly.
And they begin to convince themselves that they're behaving the way you want and need them to.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. And I mean, like, I let a few tiny things slide, and I guess I probably shouldn't say tiny, because now I'm thinking back and I'm like, I don't know what I was thinking. But like, the part for me that made me really take the high road was the fact that you did, because I've never been cheated on. So I'm like, or to my knowledge, and I'm
Right,
like,
yeah.
I don't know, like, do people work it out?
Like,
Do
what
we
did you
talk?
do?
Like, what are we supposed to do right now?
Call
Like,
Dr. Phil. What the fuck?
like, do we go have a sit down? Yeah, like, do we call your mom? Like, I don't know. So in that moment, I'm like, all right, damn. But for me, it was the fact that your immediate response was to break me down and blame me. And I'm talking about hours. I literally remember it was like 3 hours. He did not stop just yelling. I'm talking the meanest things to me. So when you did that, disrespect is where I draw the line. Like, cheating is disrespect, but verbal and
it's just
physical
too much.
disrespect
It's too
is
much.
like, you've already shown me. Like, I didn't get a sorry. I didn't get a, oh, this and oh, that. It was just like, yeah, I don't care, and I never liked you anyway, and blah, 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 and you're this and you're that. And it's just like, you've already revealed to me who you are. I can't
You can't undo it.
I can't undo that. I can undo you being mad and saying, oh, like, I ain't care anyway. But you went further
You
by
might go
saying,
like gutter with the bull jump.
yeah,
You
it's
gonna
just
try to
like
go
you
below
start,
the belt, going below the belt.
yeah, and then
shit.
like saying things
Yeah.
that you knew would hurt me, like coming from my insecurities and stuff
saying,
like
go
that.
below
And
the
it's
belt,
just
go below
like,
the
you
belt.
were the same person that said, oh, I love that about you, and then now that you're mad,
boom.
you're like, oh yeah, that weight that you gained, yeah, I hate that, and you're fat and you're ugly, and I'm like, this is the same man that said he loved this little happy weight. I said, okay, like, you know, so I can't, that's where I draw the line, because you've already revealed to me who you really are. I knew you were a little insecure, but now I know who you really are. I can't take you back.
But you know
I
what?
love
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Because
'cause so many
you are
people don't do
believing
that.
him when he showed himself to you.
Yeah, I had to, man.
Right, and lots of
I
women
had
don't.
to.
Hello.
Yeah, believe them.
I
The
had to.
first time
Listeners,
they show you.
Yeah.
believe them when they show you the first time.
Don't stop.
Right?
And he
'Cause
showed me
it doesn't
before, though. He
stop.
showed me before. I gotta be honest. Like I said, there are things I let slide, but you know, in that moment, it was like, okay, you went too far with it. Like before, it was just like one thing. I'm like, okay, you were mad. I'm gonna let that slide, but. You just went for everything that you could, things that didn't make sense. I'm talking about he was making up things like, oh, you in the studio. I know that you be messing with them producers. I'm like, you was in the studio with me. What you talking about? Like, oh, when you was in Atlanta with your producer, I know that you was doing it to him. I'm like, bro, like, relax. Like, that is too far, bro. I'm like, it's just no.
pulling anything out.
Yeah,
just
like he was
anything.
saying anything like, oh, when I first met you, I didn't. And I'm like, Okay, you can say what you want, but I do know one thing, and that's you was crazy about me when you met me. Like, you was crazy. You was doing anything and everything, and that's why I got with him. Obviously, because he applied the pressure in that way. But I'm like, don't act like don't act like I ain't
just got
do
too
anything
secure.
for you. Exactly. So, just glad that that's over, and
Absolutely. You're on to
album's
brighter,
gonna
better
speak
things.
for itself. Yeah. So I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Me too.